Hey. How's it shaking? Happy Friday. I had to do a quick pivot. Good God. I didn't even plan on talking about this wretched bitch. But I made the mistake of looking at my YouTube queue before our regularly scheduled program. Whoops. Pardon me one moment. Un momento, please. I know I should have had this done before I sat down. Hi, Nanya Beeswax. How you doing? Sorry, I'm just playing beauty parlor. I wasn't even planning on talking about this dumb bitch today, okay? But I made the mistake of watching, I started Burnt Toast, and I believe the other one, hey, Krabby, how you doing? I believe the other clip that I just got done watching, oh my goodness, who was it? Tragedy Pimps Expo? No? I'll tell you in a minute. Yes, it was Betty. Look, oh God, Betty. I thought like a vacation. I mean, for a broke bitch who seems to be on a perpetual vacation, wouldn't you think she'd look a little better? What the hell's going on with her? Honestly, and I don't want to hear this bullshit about I'm quitting smoking. I'm going through withdrawals from my vape pen. Here's what I'm going to say. And I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm going to make that very plain right now. She puts all her shit out here for all of us to comment on because she's an idiot. Hey, it's a mood. Literally, Davis fam, how you doing? Krabby, I said hello, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Oh, God, getting old sucks. But it is better than the alternative. Here's what I will tell you that is a widely known fact. And if Crazy Nurse makes her way on in here, I'm sure she'll back me up on this, as will anyone else who has any experience. Oh my God, Crazy Nurse, should I go buy a lotto ticket? I just summoned you, and boom, the words barely left my mouth, and there you are. Sorry, I'm going to have to call on your medical expertise. I was just telling the lovely people that, hi, Kia. I was just telling the lovely folks that, Betty is bitching and moaning about being in withdrawals. Now, I personally, I do not vape. I never have. I am a former smoker. It's been about 20, well, it's been just south of 3 decades since I had my last cigarette. Okay. We didn't have vape pens and all this other shit. And listen, I don't care if you vape away. Put yourself in a vapor cloud. I don't give a damn. In fact, I have family members that vape, including my 80-some-odd-year-old mother-in-law, who is still trying to sell me that argument that, well, it's better than smoking. I said, oh, I don't know, but is it? Do you really think that smoking oil that you, yeah, but I don't care. Like, and she's got the idea right. She's like, I'm an old woman and it makes me happy. And when I tell you it makes her happy, trust and believe, y'all, this is not even a joke. When she comes to my house, she has this like oblong thing that looks like a sunglass case. She's got all her chargers. I'm not kidding you. She wears one around her neck on a, like old ladies wear glasses. Not my mother-in-law. Oh no glasses, but she does have a vape pen hanging from her neck like it is jewelry. And she will have a straight up meltdown. If that thing, listen, she's got the one around her neck. She's got one charging, and she's got at least 2 or 3 more that are fully charged. Hi, Clancy. Can I tell you, this is, I swear to God, hand on the Bible, this is a true story. We were on vacation visiting family in Tennessee. And, well, my goodness, she didn't feel her vape pen. She immediately started tearing through her purse that, not for nothing, is about 5 times the size of what I carry, okay? I can't even begin to imagine all the shit she's got in there. But what she did not find was her ever-present, like, if she didn't get this vape, you guys, somebody was probably going to die. So she became hysterical. Me, of course, being me, I said, oh, for fuck's sake, we're in the damn downtown in a shopping area. Give me the credit card, honey. I'm just going to go buy her one. She, no, because I need a special kind and blah, blah. We're looking at each other. I'm like, you bitches better figure out what to do. Cause like, I'm gonna smack an old lady in a minute here. So what do you think my husband, her wonderful son, and my wonderful sister-in-law, her daughter, what do you think they did? Well, if you said they went to the front of the very fortunately small restaurant we were in and explained that we were going to have an elderly woman who was going to have a homicidal meltdown if we didn't get a vape pen in her mouth in about a minute and a half. So, sir, would it be possible for us to go through that garbage over there? Because that was her big thing, was no, I had it when we got here, and when we ordered the food, I must have put it down on the tray and blah, 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 blah. At this point, we were all willing to do whatever necessary to like, you know. She needed to smoke out, okay? So let me tell you, I'd have bought her a gold-plated vape before my ass was digging through that trash can. But that is exactly what they did. And, well, lo and behold, they didn't find it. So we now revert to Lisa's idea, which is the one we all should have, gone with in the first place. Hey, Ellie, Clancy, how you doing? And, hey, beer can, how are you? Here's the kicker. Oh, Clancy, do you chew tobacco? My son does too. And God, I hate it. I wish he'd stop. Just because I mean, yes, I think it's gross. Oh God, when he used to live here, I would find like cups with spit shit in there. I said, you ever spit in my cups again? I swear to God, I'll make you drink it. I promise you I will. And do not test me because you know your mom will. My son always towered over me. I'm 4'11", he's 6 foot, and he was 6 foot, like right about between 8th and 9th, 10th grade year. And trust and believe, he's still scared of me. Okay. He knows, don't mess with mom. It's probably why he's not a felon. So anyway, we go through all of that. At the end of the day, after a lovely outing with family, well, we get back to the family's house and I hear her chuckling to herself. And I'm like, how's she doing? And she says, Lisa, I found it. I found the vape pen. I'm like, oh, I'm afraid to ask. Where was it? Where I always keep it. Yes, what all old ladies use as their purse at some point. Her bra. I said, it's 50-50 right now, either whether I, drop a dime on you and narc you out to your kids, or if I stay quiet. Choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I probably went upstairs and said, oh my God, you are not going to fucking believe this. What's that have to do with Betty? Crazy nurse, I haven't forgotten. Don't worry. Listen, y'all, in case you're new here, or watching at home, please don't sign off yet. I promise. I'm going to circle this thing back around. This is just kind of how it goes. My gears, they turn real quick, sometimes so quickly that I completely, turn right past what I'm supposed to be talking about. I think of it like an interstate or a freeway. Sometimes you miss the exit and you gotta stay on the freeway or the interstate. Ellie, I know like in California, y'all have freeways. We don't have freeways here. We have interstates, but our interstates, they pale in comparison to your freeways, girl. I am quite familiar with them. So, sometimes you're on the interstate or the freeway and you got to go a few miles before you get to a service road or another exit where you can turn that bitch around and get back on your regularly charted course. So, as I watched Betty, then I gave up and said, oh shit, I'm going to have to go to this wretched bitch's channel and give her the view. Mainly because I was like, what's wrong with her? Like, what is going on? Y'all, she looks terrible. And I don't mean is there a way to like have an upside? Well, let's just say if sometimes people, when someone says they look terrible, well, it's because they've lost weight or, they just don't look healthy. She just looks a hot ass mess. And no, she has not lost any weight. Most definitely not. What happened? Oh, hell no. No, I'm never being her. No, hell no. What happened, Beer Can? I'm looking to see why everybody is. Now you're a pirate. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what, though? As someone who has horrible vision, as long as you've got one that functions, you'll be surprised how quickly you'll adapt. I mean, it's obviously 2 is better, but you know what? Before I forget, if you feel like you want to get another opinion, I can give you the name of a guy who is supposed to be like the top in the state, and he's in Miami, and it's out of a renowned eye center. I have a friend who, at a very young age, had it's amazing she still sees at all, but a really just kind of sounds similar to yours. She had a procedure that was supposed to fix it, and it just kept making it worse and worse and worse. But this doctor saved her vision. So if you want the name, email me. It's Crimes and Fashion, just like the channel name, at gmail.com, and I will absolutely get the name of the guy. I do know it's in Miami. But who cares? Okay, so back to this wretched bitch. I heard her just for a few minutes before I came in here on Burnt Toast from, I guess she did a stream last night. Was it last night? I'm going to finish it when I'm done here. And Betty's apparently gone to Key West. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry, this is fucking weird. Okay, I don't get this. Wouldn't you think, like, okay, if you're Betty, I know, as painful as it is, just take this walk with me. I'm sorry, your life is shit and it's in the toilet when you are taking a trip to go meet a man for a weekend in the very gorgeous, romantical place called Key West. But that man is bringing his wife, and I'm assuming it's not, one of those type of situations. Oh, like, am I the only one who thinks this is insane? And I will further tell you this. Did that nasty bitch drive or did she fly? Does anybody know? Because here in Florida, Emmy, did I say hi to you? If I didn't, I'm sorry. Hey, Fairy Dust. Okay, yes. Mab, is that what they call him? Mab Mom. I saw him and yeah, I knew he came from Dolly's. I'll tell you this. Here in Florida, and she's not too terribly far from me. I'm between an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Betty. If she drove, does anybody? Okay, she drove. Beer can will vouch for this. Do you know how long that drive is? You guys, listen, Florida may not look like it on a map. Florida is a very big state, and because up in the panhandle, it's long, and then it goes all the way, down, and it's lengthwise. Florida's it's boring as hell. Everything's flat and green or brown, and you get some water. But, you don't usually see the water until you're closer to where you're going, if that's the coastline. So it is a very long drive. You can fly there for not that much money. Or something that's even cooler that you can do. Oh yeah, Crazy Nurse, she's from Florida too. She'll attest to this. Something else you can do, you can drive to, oh goodness, I think it's right around Fort Myers somewhere, where you can park your car and get on a ferry boat shuttle. And it's, I think it's like 3 or 4 hours maybe? But from where Betty is, Crazy Nurse, Beer Can, how long do you think that drive was? Between 6 and 8 hours? Oh, Beer Can says 8 to 9 hours. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and she is absolutely correct. A1A, what we call Alligator Alley, for obvious reasons. It is only 2 lanes in certain places. There is no way in hell. As a woman, I would be driving by myself all the way to Key West. No effing. Oh, well, okay, never mind. I see the obvious problem with that statement. Maybe Betty brought her precious metal. Is that what she called it? Yeah, when I hear precious metal, I think platinum, gold, silver, not lead, tin. Oh yes, Liza, the construction here, everything is constantly under construction here in Florida. So here's what I heard, and it was just in the first couple of minutes of Burnt Toast. Betty's bitching about, oh, my withdrawals from nicotine. Listen, I'm not a doctor. I don't smoke them. I'm not going to say that nobody has withdrawals from vape pens. They may very well. I do know that when I quit smoking, now granted, it was because I found out I was pregnant, but I never touched another one. And even then, I did not have withdrawals. Okay. When you combine that with the fact that I left a comment in Burnt Toast, and I think because Burnt Toast herself said, "Girl, come on now, you've got some pinpoint pupils there." And in my comment, I said it would be more notable to make the announcement, Betty does not have pinpoint pupils today. She always does. Always. I've never seen her without them. But what I'm getting at is Betty was talking about sugar. Oh, well, they say that candy, I've been eating all this hard candy. They say sugar helps with withdrawals. Well, that made me sit up and take notice because as Crazy Nurse, I'm sure will vouch for, and I put in my comment, it is a widely known, I think I said fact, that I'm not sure if I put fact or if I put it another way, but it is widely known that supposedly sugar helps to ease withdrawals to a degree of opiates and or benzos. Anybody who was a Nurse Jackie fan, I absolutely, Crazy Nurse, I wanted to be Nurse Jackie. Like, I just loved her so much. I love Edie Falco. She's a fantastic actress. But if you watched Nurse Jackie, you might remember the episode towards the end of the series where Jackie gets busted driving. I think she was driving, and she goes to lockup, and her husband finds out what she's been up to, and someone, I think it was one of the COs, one of the cops, I'm not sure, but they gave her some candy through the bars and said, it'll help. So I don't know what the bitch is on. Don't care. That's not even why I came in here. No. Why I came in here is something I heard her say. And I then went, because I was like, oh my God, this bitch. What is it going to take for you dumbasses who listen to her? She is an idiot. She's a fool. And she's wrong more than she's right. So let me just cue up what I'm talking about. Never mind the fact that it was, besides being wrong, it was just, like she always is, insensitive, callous, cruel, put the verb, the noun, the adjective, you name it. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry I didn't have this queued up. I should have. And then I thought what I do when I'm done ranting about this, I'm going to tell you about the documentary. You guys, you will not be sorry. You eat peppermints for anxiety? I just eat them because I love them. Starlight mints, the red and white round ones. Those have been my favorite since I was a little girl. When I was a kid, my mom would give me every Christmas. It was probably a 5-pound bag. I mean, the bag was like that. And I'm not kidding you. I would have that bag demolished within a week because I just chew them, and it's one after the other after the other. Okay, so Crazy Nurse says sugar works on the dopamine center of the brain like alcohol and some drugs. Okay, so I just knew when I heard it, I was like, oh, wait a minute now. And Nurse Jackie was not the first place I've heard that. Oh, Emmy, see? You're a girl after my own heart. All right, let me cue this up. And we're not going to listen to all of it. And we're damp because, good God, just having to look at her is... But she honestly, she looks horrible. And it's not because she looks like she's going through. No, she's just disgusting. Okay, let's see. Bull Scorn Betty. Oh, I mean Bullhorn Betty. I call her Bull Scorn Betty. Okay, let's see. Here we go. I am at her channel. We're going to go to live. Oh, God almighty. Okay, let me read the disclaimer before we let this beautiful bean footage, not so much, roll. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use that is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be considered infringing. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to really try not to stop this as many times as, oh, shoot. Hold on. I always forget to, before I make it full screen, to pull the share up. Okay, let's see. All right. What in the world? What is that one? I don't even know what that is. Why is the, oh. All right, hold on a minute. It's showing me another tab is open, but it's not. Oh, there, I got rid of it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's do this. There she is. There she is in all her glory.
Hey guys, so I'm alive.
Okay, I'm sorry. What the hell? What is going on with her? I mean, hey, Kathy P. Now you know why I used the thumbnail I did. I swear to God, she is Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, as a female. This is how I know, or at least in my opinion, that she's got a screw loose. I don't care how much of a girl who's, you know, there's a big difference between being a tomboy or just not being like, listen, I completely understand. Not everybody is as vain as I am, okay? Not all women, and that being said, I promise you this, I do not do this except when I'm coming on YouTube. I have worn more makeup in the past year, counting the first time I was here and now, than I've ever probably worn in my entire life. But there's just a huge difference between, you know, a lot of women are just natural. They're not into all this. And hey, some of the most beautiful women out there are natural. Talk to me when you're in your 50s. But it is a far cry from this. I mean, she has absolutely no pride whatsoever in her personal appearance. It's just, it is so baffling to me. I don't even get it. And clearly, I understand where she's starting from, let's just say. But I promise you, she could look 50% better than she looks right now just by doing some basic things that require more than, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. I mean, so if for no other reason at all, I mean, it's clear she has no pride of person. Noted. But if for no other reason, doesn't it get old having people like me and everybody else who can't stand you pointing all this shit out? And here's the thing. It's a moon. Yes, I would say brushing her hair, but let's remember, she can't brush that hair. I have told her, bitch, if you brush that hair, especially when it's wet, I promise you that is like melted spandex fibers, like when your favorite pair of yoga pants just finally give out, or your favorite bra. Don't ever put your lingerie in the dryer, ladies. But if you do, we've all done it in the past, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. When anything made of spandex material is starting to really wear and melt, when it's wet, it'll just snap. So she can't, even though I would never recommend brushing her hair, she could certainly do one of these with her fingers and then just pull it back. How about a baseball hat? How about a scarf? How about anything besides this? Hi, Brittany. How are you? So, okay. Okay.
I know that this is not
The one thing the bitch is never without, and you will never see her without, are those. Well, I see she's downsized the hoops from hula hoops to, well, maybe about the diameter of your average Gatorade bottle lid, maybe. Oh gosh, she's just so, God, is she awful. Just wretched.
a normal time we come on at all. It's like never, ever, ever come on.
She is the Mucinex man with a dash of Fiona from Shrek. That's who she is. She and Molly. I mean, I didn't think it. Well, I gotta say, now I'm gonna give this to Betty. Molly's got her beat in the worst camera angle possibly imaginable on a woman. Did y'all see Molly when she was on that illiterate idiot Jilly Bean on her panel? I mean, that's how Molly has, oh God, boy, you talk about scraping the bottom of the barrel. The barrel has a basement, and Molly was like sitting in the camera. I have scared myself when I've been, on my couch wanting to take a picture, and unfortunate that we all know this upwards trajectory is traumatizing. Like I said, I've almost cried seeing myself from that angle, because you've got like 6 necks, and it's very unfortunate for any woman above the age of probably 17. But Headstones, you're right. Jilly Bean is, my goodness, she's in league with Prayer Garden. She truly is. She might be slightly more literate, but that is not saying much. But back to Beer Can, her sausage wrapper, pleather jacket. Isn't that thing awful? And you know what's funny? Do you know how many people I kept hearing in various chats going, oh, it's Lululemon, it's very expensive. Well, I mean, Lululemon is expensive for what it is, but every time I hear that, I'm thinking, I mean, if y'all, in terms of Molly, if you think Lululemon is expensive, I can tell you that her pretend probably the man next to Tom Cruise who she most loves and adores, Mr. Tom Ford himself, who, by the way, is hot as hell. If I was going to have a cardboard cutout in my living room that was not my family, like my husband, well, Tom Ford I would take Tom Ford all day over Tom Cruise and his nutty ass, all 5'4" of them. But what Molly would like you to think she wears, hey, blank screen, let's just say Stargazer Mom, how you doing? But in terms of expensive clothing, that Lululemon abomination, well, that's would be the cost of about one button or one zipper on Tom Ford clothing. Like, if Molly could wear a Tom Ford dress, you're looking at a minimum of $1,000, unless you get it, really, really, really on sale. But the reason she doesn't wear those clothes, besides the fact that she probably cannot afford them, is Tom Ford is not designing for Fiona. Yeah, Tom Ford's, the ladies who patronize Tom Ford's garments, they don't have size FFF tits that they carry in a wheelbarrow in front of them so they can enter the room before she does. I mean, no. Oh, so I do listen. I fully am acknowledging that Lululemon is very overpriced, in my opinion, but it is not high fashion or high fashion priced. I mean, that jacket alone tells you that. Oh, back to Betty. Poor Betty. My God. Listen, I told Laura in a comment today, Menace to Sobriety did a great video, and I left a comment, and it was a funny one, kind of like I left on Savages. And I said, yeah, Laura, I'm sorry. Whenever you appear with Molly, honey, you're always going to be the side piece. And Betty, well, Betty's the second side piece, I guess. Betty, it's never going to be about you as long as you're running around with them. Betty's like, bitch, I wasn't. I'm just sitting here in my hotel room trying to bitch. You brought her up, not me. Sorry, Betty. My apologies. Moving on.
This time of night. But I did want to let you guys know how my day went. My day was amazing. I had a great time.
I had a great time with that man and his wife. Betty, did you bring a boyfriend with you? Not the one. No, not the one that you put batteries in. No, like a real flesh and blood one. And Key West is not exactly a mecca of, it's not a heterosexual bastion, let's just say that. Key West has always, long before it was cool, Key West has been very gay friendly, and Key West is a fun town. Fantasy Fest, oh my God. Think Mardi Gras with much more debauchery.
Cool gamer. Had a great time out there in the real world.
Hold on. Can anybody tell me what was the purpose of this trip? Was this just a meet and greet? Because I know that all really, I don't know. I'm just saying, my husband, I've never gone to my husband and he's never come to me. And either one of us have ever said, honey, I would love to go. Let's go take a vacation. Let's go to Key West. It's very romantic. Yes, let's go meet some busted up, know-it-all, know-nothing bitch from YouTube. Doesn't that sound like fun, honey? What exactly is the purpose of this this little trip that Oh, maybe Missa. Missa, where do you know where the other couple is from? Are they Please tell me they did not have to fly from across the country somewhere to go meet Betty. Oh boy, my pause game is on point with this one, isn't it? Oh yes, crazy nurse. The Keys definitely are. Y'all, I have not been to the Keys since I was a little girl. No, crazy nurse, hell no. California? Are you shitting me? These people traveled from California. Is there a tragedy pimp convention that I don't know about? Or is there some case they needed to exploit? What's the deal? Why? I mean, unless maybe those two were planning already to come to the Keys. And Betty said, oh God, it's only 9 hours away. Why don't I just come see you? You're in the neighborhood and I don't have any other friends. I mean, God, I just don't get it. I do not get it. But when I was a kid and I was in the Keys, this is what an impression this store made on me. 6th grade. And I remember we were walking down, I think it was probably Duval, the main drag. And there was a fabulous store. Now at the time I wouldn't have known that it was, it was kind of like well, I'll tell you the name and then you figure out what it was. It was called Fast Buck Freddy's. And the window got me. Everything was sparkling and feathers. And of course, I'm, promptly pulled my mother in. I'm like, you don't have to come in. Just give me your credit card. It was a fantastic store. Oh, yes. Beer can is correct. Lobster season is huge down in the Keys. People come from all over to participate in lobster season. How many can you take this year, or typically beer can? Do you know? Because there's a limit. You can't just pull out as many as you want. It's funny. I don't care for lobster. I'm a huge give me stone crab any day of the week over lobster. The only time I've ever had lobster that I like I just don't order it. I don't care for it. Except when I was in Maine, probably, my son was a baby. This has been many, many years back. We took a big family trip and we were in Boston first for several days. And then we drove to Portland, Maine, where we stayed in a really cool bed and breakfast. And we went to this great restaurant where they literally, it was all kind of like a very, very, very casual. I mean, you could probably wear your bathing suit there. It was outdoor seating, picnic tables, super cash. And if you were having lobster, they quite literally would pull the trap up that was, floating right next to you. That lobster I thought was fantastic. But my husband told me that is different than the lobster here. Okay. All right. Moving on. Oh, you know what? When my son was in middle school, he went on a school trip to, I think it was Big Pine Key. And it was something a lot of, his school, it was a thing with his school. And a lot of the private schools would go to these, because it's a long drive and you have to get Actually, I think they had they hired coach buses. That's right. I remember thinking, What the hell happened to the days of mom and dad driving you on your field trip? But of course, the Keys, that's a long drive. But yes, when people hear Key West, or the Keys, they automatically just assume everything is Key West. It is not. There's Big Pine Key, there's oh God, there's all kinds of keys. Those are the only ones I can think of. Hey Sue, how you doing? Beer can, that might be it. Do they have an environmental? Isn't there an environmental? It was a real educational thing with the kids, and they had huge like dormitory cabin style accommodations. I bet that is. Sand shark? Hell no, no land shark. Just the great white will work. Oh, Stargazer Mom. Yeah, Disney has great timeshares. Okay. Look at this. 34 seconds. And I mean, I've probably been talking 45 minutes. We're not even close to the good part.
I'm like, what is that noise? It's the air conditioning.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. What is that? Do you know how many people I have seen make this comment or leave this comment in various places here on YouTube? That they believe she is mentally or emotionally like arrested development kind of thing. Like at first I didn't put a lot of stock into it, but the more I see and hear her, the more I'm buying into that, because like she is so fucking juvenile. Everything she does, she's petty as hell. She's argumentative as hell. She's dumb as hell. When she insults people, I've always said it is middle school Beavis and Butthead style. Like Betty could never. I have invited her many times to come on my channel. Come debate me. She will never. She would, if the choice was come debate me or self-immolation, she would choose self-immolation. And the more you see these repeating like gestures, and it just really does make me think that there's a lot of credence to that particular theory. That, I mean, if I had to guess her mental age, I'm putting her at high school at best. And when I say high school, I mean freshman or sophomore.
I'm serious. I didn't know what that noise was. It was the air conditioning. Got to meet Mab. Got to meet his wife in the flesh. What a great group of people. I have to be honest with you. So
when does two constitute a group? I mean, I guess technically it could, but it's just odd to me. And to me, it's because none of this is genuine. I don't know what it's about, but I have never in my life met a couple and relayed my experience of meeting that couple to anyone ever and used the words, oh, what a great group of people. Now, I guess it could be that she's, maybe there were more people in the situation that she's referring to. They're just, she's just not letting us in on it. Or, I don't know. But it's just weird.
So I rolled up into town and I got checked in about, 2 or so. And I knew it was going to be a little bit before I got to Key West and everything like that. So I went to head on out there. And while I was
Bars?
in my travels, Mav's like, I'm just getting out, blah 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 blah. He has been sleeping. Everybody knows Mav and knows he's had dental work done, and he's been having some problems with the healing process.
What the fuck is she talking about? Why would she put that out there? How is that at all? I mean, I don't know why listen, if the people came from California, it very much stands to reason that they're probably tired after what would be, depending on if it was a direct flight or whatever, that's a long flight. That's 6 to 7 hours at least. So it's just, hi Shutterbug, how are you? It's just, she's so inconsiderate, and that to me, that also shows an immaturity. I mean, most of us at our ages, you at least, if you like the person, I mean, you just don't do that. You don't go put in people's personal business that has no bearing on what you're saying just out there.
So he's not being able to sleep as much as he would like to. Please make sure to cover endangered Dalton and Hawkins County. Thank you, Miss Robin. Yes, there is something coming out. I'm on YouTube as opposed to StreamYard, so I'm going to have to use my phone. But I did see that had come in.
When you've got 87,000 fucking devices, I would hope you would be able to make this work, Betty, because my goodness, there's another missing child that you can possibly exploit. Thank God it didn't work out that way. All the normal ones amongst us are very glad that sweet baby was found. Of course, the TPs, they probably had to get their crying towels out.
Give me just a second.
Betty, isn't this your jam, girl? You might want to consider turning in your tragedy pimp card, because the child has been missing at that time, I'm sure a few hours at least, and it was close to Summer Wells, so you should have had your whole mobile command center up, and you should have had multiple accusations and theories by this time. Girl, you're falling down on the job. Oh, that's right. You don't have a job. My bad.
The young boy right here. Right there, Dalton. He is missing. So let's just give you, this is out of Tennessee.
He is missing.
We're going to be in Tennessee here in the near future. The 2-year milestone. Let me tell you guys something. So there's been a lot of.
You need to keep your big water buffalo looking ass. Oh, I sounded like Benny Keys for a minute there. Betty, that one was for you. Yeah, Betty, keep your big water buffalo looking ass at home. Nobody, I'm just going to go ahead and speak for the entire state of Tennessee. Nobody wants your big dumbass there. Stay home, Betty. You can't, Betty, my goodness, give your, if for no other reason, Pumpkin, give your car tires a break.
People that have reached out to me and said, hey, what do we need to do with Summer Wells?
For all you stupid ass people out there that think this cow can tell you how to help Summer Wells, well, I would say the best way you could help Summer Wells is do not patronize, give money to, watch any of the tragedy pimps. Don't encourage them. That's the best way you could help Summer Wells. That, and, if you're a person who believes in prayer, say a prayer for her.
What can we possibly do with Summer Wells?
I think we covered that.
And so I'm like, I'm going through all the
Let me
processes of what can we possibly.
Okay, here's the part that prompted me to come in here. It's in the next minute or so.
What can we do? What can we do to help this young girl? And
Not a fucking thing.
so I'm thinking,
Like,
okay, well, TBI or Hawkins County doesn't.
You have already done enough to muck her case up. You've gotten her family fired from their job. And by the way, am I the only one? Hi, London girl. Am I the only one? I know I'm not. Who would like to point out the irony here of this bitch who her reasoning, whatever her logic, she doesn't employ logic. She and logic are strangers, never met. Because quite fortunately, she is barren and has never produced children. Well, I guess she doesn't understand that when the boys were removed from Don and Candace's custody, and my personal opinion, and I'm only basing this on my knowledge of the child welfare system and, basically the workings of that system. Even if their rights have been terminated, which I'm of the belief that they have been, but whether they have been or not, as long as they are under the age of 18, and there are instances where it could be more than 18, but typically 18 is the age of majority where support is not, legally required. But whatever the case may be, whether they have lost custody permanently or that's still on the table, Don and Candace Wells are still obligated to pay child support to the state of Tennessee for the care and support and maintenance and upkeep of their 3 children, whether or not they have custody. So by her and her ass clown posse and their little temper tantrum they threw outside of Don and Candace's job, well, all that did is cause their 3 remaining children to not get the benefit of the child support that Don and Candace are most certainly ordered to pay for them. And I don't know this to be a fact, but common sense tells me if I'm a foster parent and I get extra money in the form of child support, because they're going to get the money from the state. I know there are instances I've heard of in other states where parents will pay directly to the foster family or whoever is taking care of their children. Well, I mean, if that is the case, in this case in Tennessee, I mean, does common sense not stand to reason? I know if I'm a foster parent and I get a payment for the child or the children, well, I'm going to use that money to get those kids something they need over and above the amount of support that is paid directly from the state. But, she has no understanding of pretty much how any kind of legal and or juvenile welfare agencies operate.
I've lost kind of hope with Hawkins County getting this, but do I really? And I started processing this and seeing what can Hawkins County really do at this point. Is it really them? Is it not them? Why isn't this being able to move forward? And so,
well, Betty, as one who has a legal education, I have a legal education. I went to college. I went to school for the law. I know the law. How is it that you're so fucking stupid? Like this duck right here. Oh, by the way, if any of you are Jeep fans, I think I said my nephew gave me this because he drives a Jeep and he keeps these little rubber duckies because you give them to other Jeep people. I saw a Jeep pulling out of a parking lot the other day. I was coming in, they were coming out. Their entire dash was filled with these little tiny rubber ducks. It was so adorable. I'm echoing. What the hell was I gonna say? Damn it. I knew I shouldn't have talked about that damn duck. It'll come back to me. It was something about how little she knows. Okay, well, stand by.
So I come to this point where I say it's a little bit of both.
What I wanted to say was, for one who's, got this legal education, which I'm just saying right here and now, I don't believe. I don't buy it. Prove it. Prove it. Because you act like you've got a 9th grade education at best. So I'm sorry. I don't believe you are any kind of college, even though I consider the college she said that she went to nothing more than a finance company where, when you buy a car in a finance company, you get a title at the end of your loan. Well, at this finance company, you get a diploma. But you don't speak like one who's educated, but frankly, about much of anything, most especially not the law. And all I can do is go by what I do know from my education. And yeah, Betty, the one thing nobody except maybe your idiot subs are going to accuse you of is being smart. So to not even have a grasp on the very basic tenets of the Constitution and due process, the reason, we're going to go over this one more time, Bets, for the ones in the back and for you. The reason clearly that Hawkins County is not proceeding forward with charges, I'm sure they're numerous, but here's the most important one. They do not have the evidence to support a charge. And they get one bite at the apple. If they charge them with homicide, manslaughter, be it voluntary, involuntary, negligence, and on it goes. If they do not have the evidence to support the charges, and evidence, Betty, doesn't just mean some uneducated dolt who nobody's ever given a shit about anything they've had to say in their shitty criminal life, who figures out how to start a YouTube channel and convince other dumb people that they are a legal expert. No. So I'm sorry that your substandard, obviously, education didn't give you a clear understanding of how the process works. Listen to all of us who do understand how it works. when we try and explain it to you over and over and over and over. And like I said, if I want plastic surgery, well, I don't go to Molly Golightly's, okay? I don't go to Dr. Frankenstein. No, I go to a board certified, well-known surgeon. If I want legal advice, I go to a lawyer. I don't go to a bitch who looks like she's Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, reincarnated as a woman. So maybe that, for all those reasons I just stated, maybe that is why Hawkins County hasn't brought charges, because if they do, well, and one other thing I neglected to say. Well, Betty, unlike you, everybody has a boss. You don't have a boss because you don't have a job. I imagine it would be hard to get a job outside of, possibly a minimum wage job, which, I mean, my gosh, that would be preferable to you masquerading as some kind of a legal expert. Because like I've said before, just because you've been arrested a whole lot, that doesn't make you a lawyer. Betty, you're not even a jailhouse lawyer. You don't and let me tell you something. I have heard some very, very bright jailhouse lawyers that trust and believe that. Hell, I've heard some jailhouse lawyers who probably know more than like if you actually were a lawyer, that caliber of lawyers knowledge. And when you have a boss, you don't just get to make arbitrary decisions about really major charges like that. Well, or probably any, but certainly not charges of that. I mean, that's the top charge we've got. So when you go to your boss who says, let me see it, and they look at the file, and they do one of those and say, no, not enough. Get XYZ. Get a confession. Find a body. In that vein. So, Betty, I'm trying not to be so hard on you here, because I know that you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm trying to educate you. And I certainly do not ever claim to be a lawyer. I can speak somewhat intelligently on several points, but no, not any complicated constructs, which I'm actually getting ready to talk about. We're just going to let her go on for about 30 more seconds.
It's them, and it's the lack of movement in this case. I believe Summer Wells is dead. I don't believe that she walks this earth anymore.
Okay, well, you know what they say about opinions, Betty. Yep, you know what they're like. And yes, we do all have them. So while you are entitled to your opinion, just like everybody else is, and, ironically, my opinion is probably not so far away from hers. I just have a lot more class, respect. Couth. Emmy, was that your thumbnail that said Betty has no couth? Someone's. I said, oh God, couth. I love that word. Yeah, I'm not a disrespectful bitch like you are. I don't speak on children as you do, because if you're a mother, and you don't even have to be a mother, but when you are a mother, you certainly tread lightly when speaking of a child. Unless you're a basic low-life bitch like she is, and then you just say whatever the hell you want.
And so, what is
Ratchet.
the first thing in order to hold somebody accountable? What is one of the first things that need to
Here it
happen?
comes.
Well,
In order to, okay, see, and this is why I cannot stand her, what you're about to hear. It's why I can't stand her. And it's why I will call this bitch out for what she is every day if I want to. I don't, because she just puts me in a bad mood. I can't stand stupid people. They piss me off. I don't suffer fools. So, well, obviously, now that I've explained, you can understand why I have such a problem with Betty. But all kidding aside, she is an ignorant, vapid bitch. She's feckless, okay? And she sits back and she speaks with such authority. And apparently, other people who are not so smart and lazy, because she says things with such authority, idiots believe her. As you are going to hear right now. So please listen.
one of the first things that need to happen in this matter is she has not been designated as deceased. She is, in all intents and purposes, in the eyes of the law, she's still alive. If she's still alive, it's kind of hard to arrest somebody for her murder
Wrong.
or disappearance or something else. So I think the first thing needs to be is she needs to be deceased. In order for this case to move forward, no matter what evidence they have, if they cannot prove this child is dead, there is no way, hey, Mav, there's no way for this to move forward.
She is correct there. If they cannot prove that she is deceased, if that's the charge they would bring, she is correct. They would have to have the evidence.
Period. There's no way until she is classified as deceased for this to move forward.
Wrong. You are wrong. Like most things you opine on, you stupid bitch. And give me a minute and I'm going to explain.
So that's the first thing.
Or I'm going to explain in as much as me not being a lawyer as I can explain.
Now, if Hawkins County doesn't have the ability, doesn't know what to do, maybe lacking resources, lacking training.
If they don't have the ability and don't know what to do, what should they do, Betty? Should they call you? Because based on your everything, your whole fucking life, you don't know how to do much of anything.
Training, lacking whatever it may be.
Says some bitch who doesn't even have a fucking job. Okay. But she wants to sit back. Oh boy, that pause game's on point too. Oh, I can't stand her.
The first step for me in achieving this goal of classifying her as deceased so we can get somebody charged with her murder.
She is so fucking wrong, it hurts. And here's why. Like, this is what I have always, this has always been one of my huge problems with her. She is so lazy. She doesn't even bother to do what I did, which is I heard her say that. My ears perked up and I was like, oh, bullshit. I don't believe that. But just because I don't believe it, that doesn't mean I'm going to come running in here as fast as I can, click go live, and say Betty's full of shit. No, I'm going to do a Google search and I'm going to find out, am I correct? And I can tell you I'm a lot more correct than Betty is. Well, let's just let me see if she's got, if this is, for some reason, I think there was one other point I wanted to have you listen to.
Right? Whether it's manslaughter, second degree, first degree, whatever, right? Well, if it's at a stalemate at Hawkins County, maybe the first things that we need to do to move forward is, yes, we're going to get to, we're talking about Dalton in just a second, but we're going to need to literally move this case to the state. That means TBI needs to take over the state. They need to classify Summer Wells as deceased so they can move forward with the investigation. Now, getting back to Dalton, which is,
she's full of shit. Okay, let me read to you what the actual law has to say. Not this dumb bitch, because she has no clue what she's talking about. Yeah. So basically, what Betty just said, what I heard her say, and I listened to it multiple times, is there is nothing that can be done to bring charges unless and until Summer Wells is declared deceased. Hey, dumb bitch. There's a construct in the law called corpus delicti. It is not anything that my education allows me to feel comfortable enough to opine on. So I'm just going to read you a definition. I'm not going to get all bogged down. See, because I'm not a fan of looking like an idiot like Betty clearly is. I don't come up here because I need people to think, well, because I am so insecure and inadequate inside. So the way I try and disguise that is I act like I'm, a professional and I know and I speak with authority. No. That's why I say, if you want real legal analysis, because newsflash, the law is can be quite convoluted, quite difficult to understand, which is why you go to law school and you don't go to some idiot like this to get true legal analysis from. And just because I can tell you the definition of a concept, that damn sure doesn't mean that I can break down all the finer points of that concept. You are right, it's a mood. Yeah, she has enough trouble with the English language, okay? Latin, yeah, not so much. Oh God, beer can, that's interesting. Oh, is he a mogul? Okay. The term corpus delicti refers to the body of the crime or evidence that a crime was committed at the place alleged in the indictment. It's kind of like corpus delicti is one of several elements. I don't even want to go past that because I really did read several different pages regarding this. It's from common law. And I'm telling you, it was beyond my ability to feel confident enough to come in here and start telling you about it. Because, like I said, I'm not a fan of looking like an idiot. But, Betty, I'm just going to read this article from let me see the name of the paper. I believe it's the Tennessean. Oh, actually, it was USA Today. Because what Betty just said was, well, they cannot proceed forward at all until they declare Summer Wells dead. That is absolutely, patently, categorically false. Now, I did try and do a little bit of digging on, does the state of Tennessee require someone be declared dead before they will prosecute a murder case? Because that could be. I mean, that could have been. I don't live in Tennessee. I don't know. Thank God. I've never had the occasion to have myself or anyone in my family or friends charged with murder. So I don't know. Hey, Finn Kirby, how you doing? I don't know all the finer points. So a simple Google search. Oh God, Emmy, I don't know how you spend as much time with this skank as you do. God bless you. Okay, just briefly. Here's how you know. Oh, but what I was saying is, based on what I've read, I do believe Tennessee has now gone the way of, I believe, every other state in the country as far as the Social Security Administration is concerned. Someone who is missing for purposes of Social Security, you will be presumed dead after 7 years unless you can prove someone's alive. So at one time, and I want to say this was way back, 2001 maybe, Tennessee was a state where it kind of worked the opposite. You were presumed, how did it read? You would be presumed a lot. It was not just the inverse. There was another element in there, but I believe now at least Tennessee is no longer like that. So that led me to the corpus delicti issue. If I had wanted to spend more time digging than the 10 or 15 minutes I did, I might have been able to talk a little more, further on that. But I don't need to, because I'm not sitting up here holding myself out as a lawyer. I'm not telling you that I know more than everybody on YouTube. And, well, I was going to say something else, but Betty could never make that assertion. So, okay. So the next best I could do is, oh God, I'm sorry. Y'all, give me just 1 second. I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry. That was my baby. All righty. So the next best thing I could do, besides finding the more of an explanation on, corpus delicti, and but this article is going to tell you that what Betty said is absolute pure utter bullshit. Okay. Judge seals records in Nashville no body murder case. Well, my goodness, imagine that. And believe it or not, well, look at that. That's the headline in bold. I'd say that's at least 30-point font. And this article was from 2016. So Betty, clearly you are full of shit. Evidence in the murder case against Caleb Cannon will remain secret until trial. A Nashville judge ruled on Wednesday. Criminal court judge, blah, blah, blah. Granted motion to seal discovery. This means the ruling means lawyers will have access to the evidence. The public will not. Cannon's lawyer, Cannon, 34, was indicted on October on a charge of murder and is accused of killing Nicole Nikki Burgess, an ex-girlfriend with whom he has a son. Burgess, 37, disappeared on Memorial Day weekend in 2014. Monday marked 2 years since Burgess was last heard from. Her body has not been found. I don't think we need to go any further, do we, class? Okay, so 2 years. 2 years, and they're prosecuting that no body case for murder. Do y'all now understand why this bitch makes me so crazy? Because and y'all, this is not a one-off with me and Bets here. I wish I had kept track of how many times I heard this blithering idiot sit back, like she's Moses with the tablets, given the Sermon on the Mount, opining on with great authority. And she's wrong AF because she's dumb AF. And what makes her so dumb? It's not her. And this is why I say I do not believe that she has any higher education beyond Florida. I was looking at beer cans gone. Beyond high school. I just don't. I mean, and it's not the fact that she makes all these egregious mistakes. I say she's ignorant because she is, because she does not even care enough about her subs being correctly informed. Oh, literally, Davis fan, the Gucci glasses, I promise you, that bitch bought those at the flea market, okay? I can tell you that style frame, I'm trying to think how old. And I mean, I understand that, frame styles, they come, they go. The huge frames, and then we go to smaller frames, and then aviators are in, and then cat eyes are in. I mean, I get all that. I believe I had those glasses that she's wearing years ago. I don't believe for 1 minute that those are real. And if for no other reason, because the style I don't think is current, well, that's because she's a cheap bitch, okay? And nobody will convince me that Betty paid $300 and change for a pair of sunglasses. I just don't believe it. In fact, now I am actually going to, sorry guys. I'm doing some quick looking right here at something. Hold please. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Well, they do have one pair that look very similar to the ones that she's wearing. I need to go back and look at them. The logo on the side, because I don't know that the pair I'm looking at right now at Nordstrom are, okay, hold on. I might have just answered my own question. Okay. I do not think that the logo on the side, I don't think it looks the same as these. It's close, but I'm not sure. But I will tell you, I am looking at a very similar pair, but we're going to have to do a side by side. They are $505. And then you've got tax. In Florida, 7%. Shit. You know what? I'm going to have to, well, wait a minute. Let me pull it up on, can anybody tell me what video that was of hers? Oh, I don't want to listen to any more of her anyway. So we'll get out of this one. And let's look. I'll try and pull it up on, was it in a short? I think it was. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Road trip. Oh, there they are. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm looking at them.
Sorry. You guys in a different spot.
Shit. Wow. Y'all, she looks so bad. Hold on. Let me show you. We're going to look at the ones on Nordstrom. Let me just make sure my window doesn't have any, that my Nordstrom account info is not showing. Okay. All right, we're going to stop on that one. And we're going to move to the next one. Okay, you guys see that? Yeah, this is just the two interlocking G's. One's up, one's down. It seemed like hers had a different logo, but you see the price on them, $505. So by the time you pay tax, you're almost $550 in. Are you telling me you think that cheap bitch spent $500 on a pair of sunglasses? I'm saying I would bet my very life. No. No way in hell. Okay, so we're gonna stop. Well, wait a minute. We better leave the other one up. Just so I'm gonna try and freeze the, well, wait a minute. What? Okay, there we go. That might be a perfect spot. Okay. Oh, it's so blurry. Listen, and let's face it, I don't, same thing I tell Molly, bitch, you can wrap yourself in a Chanel flag. I don't care if if he came to your house and he set up a studio in your guest bedroom and he, just whipped up a whole wardrobe for you. You are straight off trash. You are trash. You're disgusting. And there is nothing that can help you. And I will, maybe Molly. No, my guess would be flea market. I will never believe that Betty. But let me look, see if I can get it. I'm trying to. The quality is so horrible on the video. My God, she looks awful. God dang it! It's weird because I can see like when I. Bitch, turn your head and close your mouth. That will make me so happy. Come on, Betty. Okay, that might be it. Is there another shot where she's wearing them, not while she's moving? Oh, fuck off, Betty. Nobody physically assaulted you, you skank. I want you to look at her. I want you to look at what this bitch really looks like when she is not filtered to the gods. Oh, crazy nurse. I bet you're right. Yes. I bet you're right, Amazon. Because listen, there are times when I'm looking for something on Amazon and all of a sudden, like some Gucci or Chanel will pop up and I'll be like, what? And it's a lot of them are, well, what the smart ones do is they will take a picture of the knockoff item, but what they do is they show you the picture, like if it's Chanel, they'll do this. Hold on. Let me. And my stance, let me tell you my stance on counterfeits, and it's probably not for the reasons you think. I am vehemently opposed to the counterfeit industry and fast fashion in general. I do not hate on you if you buy things from Zara, Forever 21, Charlotte Russe, places like that. I do not support it. And counterfeits are worse than fast fashion, in my opinion. Those industries, they do not pay their workers. They don't work in conditions like our garment industry workers work or our factory workers work. They are not paid anything close to a living wage. They work in terribly hazardous, unsafe conditions. And that runs the spectrum from mildly dangerous to Rana Plaza in where was Rana Plaza? Was it Indonesia? No, I don't think it was. But it was a terrible sweatshop where the building was in such poor condition and they were it was overweighted with people, with equipment. It literally fell in on itself and killed it. Yes, counterfeit. Listen, when you buy counterfeit, this is just another reason for me to not stand that bitch. When you buy that stuff, you are supporting a lot of and mainly on the counterfeit end. I think y'all have heard me say before that I have a family member that works in one of the alphabet agencies. And just believe me when I tell you that the proceeds from those counterfeiting helps to finance and fund all kinds of terrible shit, like things that you find on the dark web. So that's one of the main reasons I'm so opposed to it. But the fast fashion, I'm not going to hate on you because you either want and or can't afford to spend more. Listen, here's what I would say. I would rather see people than buy fast fashion. I would rather see people buy secondhand all day long, whether it's at a consignment shop, a thrift shop, the Goodwill. To me, fast fashion for me, y'all, it's just junk. And believe me, I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I'm saying and sit back and say, well, F you. Not everybody can afford to spend a bunch of money on their clothes. I completely understand that, and I know that, and I get it. But clothes from, Forever 21, Charlotte Russe, Zara is a little bit better quality. To me, Zara is insanely overpriced. But I call those disposable clothes because oftentimes, now denim and stuff, that's usually a little bit better quality construction, but you go buy a dress from one of those places, try and get it dry cleaned and tell me how long I'm sure there are exceptions, but I'd rather see people buy secondhand than buy that. But this is what the sellers on Amazon, I'm looking for a piece of paper because I need to draw something. Let's see here. Good Lord. Aha, wait. Why does this always happen? I've got all this crap in my credenza here, let's do this. Okay. So when these sites, and they're not all from China, several of them are, but some of them actually ship from the States. So what they'll do is they'll show a pair of, let's say, earrings, or even sunglasses we'll say. And they'll say inspired, designer inspired. Okay, so if it's supposed to be Chanel inspired, this is what they'll do. All right, so that's the real Chanel, is the interlocking C's. What they will do is they will show a picture and it'll look like that. Can you see that? Instead of interlocking C's, it's two interlocking, like a Venn diagram. It's, two interlocking circles. But when you buy the product, they send you the C's. They just know that they can't do it on Amazon for any length of time before the listing gets pulled. So, Crazy Nurse, you are probably correct. So you found them on Amazon? Betty, bitch, what are you thinking trying to pull that with me on the scene? Come on, girl, you should know better. I don't try and tell you how to do your tragedy pimp job. So why are you trying to question my eye for legit designer merch? And I can't see hers that good. But if you noticed, the ones from Nordstrom, I think the logo looks different. But yeah. So if you believe those are real, then you need to believe that either Betty paid about $550 for a pair of sunglasses? Or maybe a man gave them to her. Yeah, no, I think I'd have an easier time believing she bought them. So, oh, beer can, don't get rid of them. Liza, fabric from Indonesia. There's a brand I really love, and it's from, I think she's from Indonesia. She is. And the only reason I found it is because I have a friend that has a clothing store. I think I've mentioned that. And she carried this brand. And because she will only carry like sustainable lines. And I loved this brand. But she told me that she doesn't carry it anymore because they outsource to, I think she said to India. It's the brand is called Anika Chu. And listen, I don't need sustainable. I'll still buy it. And in fact, I was going to buy some stuff the other day, and get this. It said something about your card is you're $20 away from free shipping. And I was like, well, I don't care, because I bought from there before, and believe it or not, it comes like that. I have bought something from that company in Indonesia. She used DHL Express at the time, and I'm not kidding you. I bought it like maybe on a Monday. It was here by Thursday from Indonesia. And now at the time, the shipping was $49. But it came that fast, and they kind of had it worked out to where it was more palatable than it sounds. But when I went on their site the other day, I said, well, damn, they really must be outsourcing quite a bit, because a dress went from, what would have been $250, $350 to $80. And I was like, I don't do polyester. I have an absolute aversion to polyester. And trust me, polyester, they've gotten really good with polyester. It has come a long way. There are grades of polyester that look and feel like silk. However, I don't like synthetics like that, because in Florida, this is, well, they say it's God's waiting room. I say it's Satan's living room. I mean, it is hot as balls in Florida, okay? It is brutal, insufferable heat and humidity. The heat I can take. Humidity, like Las Vegas. I was a couple of years ago in Las Vegas in August. I was fine. It's the humidity I can't stand. And polyester does not breathe. So I don't do polyester. But when I saw that I was $20 away from free shipping, I was like, no, that's okay. I wasn't going to spend another whatever. I'll just pay it was going to be cheaper to pay the shipping. So I thought. So I went to check out, and I was like, what? How the hell did that dress just go up $120 some odd dollars shipping? So I was like, well, damn, no. And it still didn't make sense for me. I just said, screw it. I'm not buying it, because I wasn't going to spend another $300. It wasn't going to work out. But so that's my little Indonesia outsourcing thing. Yes, silk breathes. So does linen, and cotton somewhat, but silk very much breathes. Oh, beer can, are you talking about vintage Levi's? The Japanese are crazed for, well, most things American, but definitely vintage Levi's. If y'all ever find a pair of vintage Levi's, and listen, not all Levi's, just because they're old, are vintage like the vintage they want. I couldn't tell you what style numbers they are because that's not my jam. But there are plenty of websites that can. And someday I need to bring in I have some really nice vintage pieces I would love to show you guys. I have some beautiful Pucci vintage. When I saw that about the jeans, there was something else that I was gonna say that they're crazy. That's highly collectible and crazy, crazy profit margin, but I can't remember. So, look at Betty. Okay. You're going to get a good look at what Betty actually looks like. I know I'm always busting on her, saying she's, when she looks even remotely palatable and not scary, rough, that she's sitting in front of a Klieg light with 87 filters, but it's the truth. Here, take a look at what Beth's look. Take a look at this animal and its natural habitat. I'm going to get rid of that and share. And I'm not going to play this too long because I don't want to listen to her. I just want you guys to, I just want you to see her. Why isn't Betty? What is so weird? I only have one tab open. What is that other one that keeps showing up? I don't get it. Share. All right, let's see. Actually, we'll just put this bitch on mute. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. You know what, Emmy? You know what I just noticed? My goodness. Well, our girl is getting, her hair is getting shorter and shorter. Yes, there is a natural habitat for Betty. It's called rough. It's the back 9 and it's rough. Ooh, it's rough. It's rough AF. Hold on a minute, you guys. I gotta figure out why it's not. I don't know why it is not showing like the other. Okay, I've got her pulled up. Present, share. There we go. Okay. Behold. Behold all that is Betty. Holy shit, you guys. She is looking rough. Wow. Oh, it's a mood. Missa, you are absolutely correct. I've been saying it forever. Everybody's been saying it. Betty, girl, not only are you going to be bald, I mean, I'm not kidding. That hair has, let's see if I can find a good, I don't know. I want to get a good, oh, how about that? That hair looks like she has, well, Betty, is that, oh God, I could say something really, really, ooh. Well, I want to, but I'm going to defer. Do you know who she looks like right there? Holy shit. I've never seen it before now. And you're welcome once I give you this comparison. Although I don't have anything against this woman, and she's probably much nicer. She seems much nicer than this one. Sister Wives. Janelle. Hold on. I think I'm going to need to pull up a picture of Janelle from Sister Wives. Whoops. Let's see. Sister. Oh, yes. Well, we need heavy Janelle, not, I think Janelle's lost a little bit of weight. Oh, Janelle, I'm sorry, girl. I hate to do this to you. Actually, let me, I'm going to just clip this because it's from Entertainment Tonight. Yeah, we don't want to be playing with their, so I'm just going to clip it and we'll just do it as an image. We will save this as, okay. All right. Let's see if I can pull that up. Because y'all are going to say, oh my gosh, you are right. Did I put them on my desktop? Yes, there it is. Okay. Perfect. We'll just move that over here. All right. All right. We're going to, oh shit, I have to stop that one. Why did I have to stop it? Oh, hell, I don't know where it is. But all you have to do is go look it up and tell me she does not look like Janelle from Sister Wives. Oh, it's a mood, girl. 2 at the most. Two more bleaches at the most, and her roots are coming in. Like, I've just never seen someone who is as dumb as this bitch. Like, how many times do you have to be told? And shame on whatever, like, back alley beauty school dropout is doing this, because no hairdresser with any flash, it's the hair for me. Oh, that's kind of like Green Acres is the life for me. You know, they call me Zsa Zsa. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. Yeah, mullet. So, like, Green Acres is the life for me. A bleached mullet is the life for Betty. Yeah, but any ethical non-beauty school dropout, Nissa, I know she did, but either she is still continuing to take her bucket of bleach and, you know, use it like shampoo, or the fool who put those pink highlights that lasted about 7.5 hours in her head did this. But there is no hairdresser worth her salt that would ever take this bitch on as a client. I mean, even if she had tape over her mouth so you didn't know what a raging bitch, malcontent she is, you just would never, like, why would you ever want that as your calling card walking around out there? I mean, it would have to be a situation where I was so desperate for clients and money, and I had no ethics, that I would take her. But I would say, here's the deal. You cannot tell anyone who does your hair. Oh, beer can. Sweaty Betty, for those of you who maybe are not familiar, Sweaty Betty is actually a very cute line of workout wear. Let's see, I thought I saw another comment. Yeah, she truly, there's going to be nothing left. Every time we see her, it's getting shorter. And well, I should do that shorter. Her head is a billboard she rents out for verbiage. What's it say? Don't tread on me. Front row Joe. Oh my God. Can I tell you guys, I'm probably going to go to hell for this, but I don't care. It was funny as shit. I don't watch the news anymore. My husband, he makes his rounds on YouTube of different news sites. Last night, after I had eaten dinner, he wandered out of his office and he said, "Oh my God, honey, did you see Biden fall?" I said, "What? No." I swear to God, you guys, if you haven't seen it, just Google it. I laughed so hard. I'm still laughing. My God, he is a feckless. When he talks about, oh, he's going to run again, I'm like, he won't live to the next election. My God, my husband assures me when I start freaking out, like, oh my God, we are doomed. That bastard is in control. Like he's running this. He is the captain of this ship. He doesn't even know who he is half the time. My husband's like, honey, he isn't running shit. Don't worry about it. And my husband will tell you Obama's running things. But when he showed me that video, my God, I laughed for at least an hour after I watched it. All I would have to do is just look at my husband. I've seen other like gaffes. Well, listen, my husband made the best point last night. He said, when he was at his prime, he was the most ineffective joke of the Senate. And his prime was obviously many decades ago. I mean, y'all, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Go watch Joe. And the way he pointed at the ground, like, it's like, dude, nothing tripped you up. How about the whole front row? It was where was he speaking? It was a commencement ceremony it wasn't West Point, I don't think, but it was a very prestigious military. Oh my God, maybe it was West Point or Manassas. I don't know, but all the kids who were graduating in full uniform it was all they could do. I mean, they were openly laughing. Everybody was. Even when he went back to his seat in the front row, everybody was laughing. My husband's like, I can't believe his wife let this happen. And I'm like, which are you referring to? And he's like, all of it. Like, all of it. He's like, yeah, she just, carts him around and holds him by the back of the jacket so he doesn't fall over. Oh God, it's just, okay, it was the Naval Academy. Listen, I try not to bring politics here. I really do. But that shit was hilarious. Okay. His beer can, you have got to be kidding. Are you kidding me? Tell me you're kidding me. You do not love Joe, do you? I still like you, even if you do. Oh God. That was so funny. Okay, so my recommendation. I wonder if I should end this one and do one. Let me see. Oh God, it's 3 o'clock. Did you guys see my original thumbnail I had up about the documentary? I want to do a watch and react. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to watch. Not together anyway, because it's an HBO docuseries. You guys, I'm not kidding you. This is, to me, in my opinion, this is the best true crime docuseries I have seen since Making a Murderer. If I saw something else that was pretty close, I'm not remembering it, but let me pull it up and I'm going to tell you guys, but then I think I am going to just do a real quick dedicated no, actually, I'll just tell you guys the name of it. And when I come, that's what I'm going to do, because I had originally done the thumbnail for that. I wasn't planning on talking about this bitch at all today, but then I saw, oh God, I saw the various videos the Blessed Clip channels do for us. And then I started listening to Burnt Toast and I thought, oh, son of a bitch. When it's just Betty being an asshole, Betty, like she always is, but she's not putting out completely absurd, wrong legal information, I don't feel the need to fire up alive. I really don't. I mean, I find my mood is much better when I don't have to speak and or look at her. Because yeah, she just, like I told you guys, she's ignorant AF, and dumb people piss me off, and I don't suffer fools. So she's starting off with 2 strikes. But my original purpose, and all I was planning on doing today, is talking about this documentary or this docuseries, you guys. And it's a little different. This is not, I still have 1 episode left to watch. It is 6 episodes, and it is called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. That's all I'm going to say. You can, you guys can Google and read the abstract on it. And I'm going to end this, and I'm just going to go walk the dog. I'm going to fill up my water and go to the bathroom. And then I'm coming right back, and I'm going to just, we won't be here long, but I'm just, famous last words. I want to do a dedicated live to that. That way I'm going to, because I'm going to title it to try and get some people who are watching it and want to talk about it. It is HBO Max. And I know a lot of people don't have that. Y'all, they just switched over from what was called HBO Max, which is now just called Max. And you can get, the lipstick, I've got 2 on. Pat McGrath. This is my favorite AB, just like an Aurora Borealis almost colorless. I'm trying to look at the color. God, Pat McGrath's, her colors are so small, the writing on the bottom. It is it's called, son of a bitch, Nude Astral Lip Balm. This is just the Aurora Borealis, almost colorless. And the one that I just swiped all over is also Pat McGrath, Blitz Trance Fuchsia Perfect. And it's that color. Unfortunately, this first one, the Nude Astral Balm, she hasn't had this available in, it seems like months now. If you find it, let me know. The other one is, there's no problem getting that one. Okay, so I know a lot of people don't have HBO, but you all can do the trial. And I'm not sure if it's a week or a month, but it's at least a week. And you guys, this series, it is, here was my plan last night. I'm reading a book. I just bought, I haven't started it yet because I'm finishing up another one. But I did buy the new Oprah book, The Covenant of Water, by, I can't pronounce the guy's name. He's Indian, and he wrote another of her book picks from way back in the day called Cutting for Stone, that was a fantastic book. Same author. This is her latest pick, The Covenant of Water. I'm reading a biography right now. what is the one I'm reading now? It's really good as well. But I don't think it's not as new. I have Kindle Unlimited, so it was in one of the unlimited selections. It's something David Crow, it's about a Cherokee Indian. All right, now I feel like I need to look it up because it is good. And if anybody else has Kindle Unlimited and you like biographies and whatnot, my orders. Digital, apply. What the hell is that? Are you kidding me? Well, that's weird. I don't know. It's not. It shows that I've got a Kindle Unlimited out, but it doesn't show me the cover or the name of the book. That's weird. So anyway, but it's okay. It's not great. I'm one of these people, like, if I start a book, I finish it. I have a 100-page rule. If I'm not like really invested by 100 pages and I'm kind of like ambivalent about it, I'm done. I won't read it. But if I go past 100 pages, I will finish the book. It's pretty rare that I don't want to finish one. But when I went into my bedroom, I always read for at least an hour or more before I turn my TV on at the end of the night. So my plan was I read for about an hour and a half. Once I start getting to the point where I'm falling asleep and because I'm reading, I keep reading the same page for 30 minutes because then it's like, okay, I put it up and I watch TV and go to sleep. So last night my plan was to read, and then I had already checked HBO, and I see that this new I always look at the newly added. And when I saw there's no trailer, not on there. There might be one out on the internet. But when or was there a trailer? No, there wasn't. But I read the abstract and I thought, I wasn't like overly enthused by the abstract. I thought, well, I'll give it a try. 6 episodes. I watched 5. I couldn't stop watching. And I kid you not, Flash, you sign your name and you donate. Well, mine are Kindle, but I love that idea. I think that's very cool. Missa, do you read? You don't read on a Kindle? I tell you what, anybody who's, and I listen, I'm still the only reason that, one of the only reasons, one of like maybe 2. The only reason I really am such a fan of the Kindle now is as I've gotten older, I really have to have light to read. And I read in bed at night. I don't read during the day. I'm busy doing shit. So I either have to have my big overhead light on, and that's not conducive to relaxing at the end of the day. Or get one of those light, I've had a million of those. The little lights that you would clip on the book. There's that. And here's what I love about the Kindle. It's got a built-in light. And I have the latest one. And it's got the longest battery life, and it's got the largest actual the text, the screen. I don't think the screen itself is all that much larger than the other ones. It is somewhat, but the text goes almost all the way to the edge of the screen. So I mean, for purposes of carrying something with you, it's definitely better than a book. But I love books. I have books everywhere. But the Kindle, what it's amazing for, not only the light that is built in, it's backlit, and Flash, get the latest one, because I'm telling you, they've got the light thing perfected now. There's the Paperwhite. You want at least, Paperwhite is, I don't know how many versions of the Paperwhite are out, but if you get the Paperwhite, you can read outside in the brightest sunlight there is, and you will have no problem. Believe me, they have perfected that. That used to be a real issue with the e-readers, was you couldn't read outside because it was no longer a problem. So I love the fact that it's backlit. And here's the other thing that's really good when your eyes are not so great, because I'm really screwed, you guys. I wear contacts with a huge prescription, and as I got older, that's for distance, but as you get older, you can't see up close either. So I can't see up close or far away. I can, as long as I have my contacts in, I can see distance. But so the light and the font, you can make the font any size you want. I try not to make it much larger than your standard novel size font, just because if you start getting used to having big font, then you're going to require big font. So and it'll hold, I forget how many books it holds, 10,000, something insane. A lot. But So that was my plan last night, but I was riveted to this thing. And it's one of these where it's a winding road. And every time you think you kind of know what's going on, here comes the next episode, and not so much. So I'm really anxious to watch the last episode. And what I want to do, I want you guys to watch this, because I want to, because this is an HBO product, quite obviously we're not going to do a watch and react. What the watching will take place not on here. But I really want to do, like, we'll do everybody watch episode 1 by whatever day. And on that day, then we're all going to get together and we're going to talk about episode 1. I went and I told my husband this morning, I said, Nissa, I think we should probably, what's today? I say we need to do it next. Let me look at my phone real quick. I think we do it next week. And because I don't know how much I'll be on here this weekend. I've got a few things I need to do with the family. But let me just look at next week. All right, so today's the 2nd. Okay, Wednesday I have a hair appointment. Do I really have a Oh, well, gee, I have a hair appointment Wednesday and Friday next week, which means one of those days is wrong. Actually, it seems like both of those should be wrong, because I'm looking at my hair and my roots don't look that bad. So I wonder if I had that's weird. Well, that I'm going to have to, okay, well, as of right now, we'll say Wednesday and Friday are out. I could do Tuesday the 6th. That would be a good day. So why don't we just kind of plan on, I'm going to write that down. Tuesday, let's say Tuesday the 6th. And it'll be during the day because I'm useless at night. And as much as you guys watch is as much as we can talk about. I mean, hell, if you watch the whole thing and almost everybody's watched the whole thing, then we'll talk about the whole thing. And trust me, I think I said in the video this morning, I really don't I don't recommend shit to you guys if it's just something that, oh yeah, I like that, or, this was good. No, it has to make like an impression on me for me to actually recommend it to you guys. So, and I am still, I know I keep saying I'm going to do that list of Lisa's favorite things. Because, I mean, I'm not Oprah, but I have some favorite things myself that I like a lot, that you would probably like a lot. So, all right. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, it's 3:30 now. I'll be back by 4. You guys have already heard it. So please, by all means, come back if you want. If not, you know what? To Kelly, did you watch it? If you did, oh, are y'all looking at Kindles? Yeah, and the new Kindle, I will tell you, and this was a huge benefit for me. And I got it as a gift. My mom gave it to me because my mom had it and she's like, oh, this new one is fabulous. I sent you one. I'm like, oh, I said, that's perfect. Cause I think mine's actually dying. The battery. It used to be that I would have to charge that Kindle. If you used the light, which I always did, I would have to charge that thing every couple days. If you read it an hour stretch or more, you were absolutely charging that thing every couple days. This one, I promise you, it is at least the battery life, I would say. Of course, they tell you it's, much longer than I find, but it is at least 3 to 4 times the battery life of what any prior Kindle was. So, all right, we'll drive carefully. Flash, and to Kelly, did you watch it? But yes, y'all, it's listen, if you like to read, I promise you will. If you don't have one, get one. You will not be disappointed. I cannot speak to any other e-reader out on the market. I've never used another one. But I've read on my phone. I've read on my iPad. To me, the iPad is too big and cumbersome. And the phone is way too small. So Kindle is perfect. All right. I'll be back in about a half hour, and I think I'll go ahead and do a thumbnail for Tuesday. That way nobody forgets. And if you finish it early or in the meantime, before Tuesday, you can certainly come and tell me what you think, because I'm telling y'all, it's definitely true crime, but probably in a different way than we're used to. But you could not make this shit up. It's nuts. It's got a little bit of everything. Yes, I think that was something I jotted down. It does. It has everything. It has sex, money, drugs. I'm not sure about that. Multiple countries are involved. It's good. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If I do not see you in a few minutes or in a half hour, I will probably see you at some point during the weekend. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, here, I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm sorry. Did I say it was? Oh, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace on HBO, also known as. Okay, here we go. All right, and I'll leave it there for a minute before I shut this down. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Bye.